The Patriots are coming off back-to-back games that have shown just how fragile and inconsistent this team can be, and unfortunately, the consequences caught up to them this time. After narrowly avoiding disaster against the Dolphins, the matchup against the Steelers was supposed to be a chance for redemption, a chance to prove that they could clean up the mistakes and get back on track. Instead, what unfolded was a sobering reminder of how self-inflicted wounds can derail even the most promising opportunities. The offense struggled with ball security in a way that was both baffling and costly, turning what could have been a competitive game into a frustrating loss. 5 turnovers in a single game is almost unimaginable, and yet, somehow, the Patriots were still in positions to make plays, still in moments where a win seemed possible, but they simply could not capitalize when it mattered most. Rondre Stevenson, who just 2 years ago was entrusted with a contract that suggested he could become one of the franchise's top rushers, fumbled twice, a continuation of a troubling pattern that has haunted his career. Even with his natural talent and physical ability, the inability to maintain possession has consistently undermined his contributions. Antonio Gibson was involved in one of the interceptions, further highlighting the recurring miscues on the offensive side of the ball. Mistakes like these are glaring for a young team still adjusting to a new culture, a new coaching philosophy, and a new identity under Mike Vrabel. But in the NFL, youth and inexperience are not excuses when turnovers directly translate into losses. The defense, on the other hand, showed glimpses of promise, holding Aaron Rodgers to just 139 passing yards and limiting the Steelers' ground game to 64 yards. On paper, the Patriots' defense executed well, but football isn't played on paper. Every time the offense surrendered the ball, the defense was forced back onto the field, constantly put in situations where their good play was rendered nearly irrelevant because the other side of the ball could not maintain possession. Injuries and absences made things even more complicated. Pop Douglas and Rondre Stevenson were both sidelined at critical points, and Christian Ellis, another holdover from last year who was expected to contribute significantly, struggled to make an impact. On third downs, Marte Mapu replaced him, raising questions about roster decisions and the development of players who were given contracts based on potential rather than current production. Kyle Duggar found himself demoted to special teams, and Jack Gibbons took over certain responsibilities mid-game, showing that the coaching staff is willing to make adjustments when the traditional depth chart does not deliver. On the offensive side, Hunter Henry stood out, leading the team with 90 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns, acting as Drake May's most reliable target. However, beyond Henry, the wide receiver group largely failed to make plays, with no receiver surpassing 30 yards on a catch throughout the game. That lack of explosive plays speaks volumes about the struggles in the passing game. Stephon Diggs, in particular, needs more involvement, as his limited touches suggest either caution in his recovery or a gap in chemistry with the offense. In a league where every play matters, a star receiver not seeing sufficient volume can be the difference between a close game and a missed opportunity. Adding insult to injury, the game turned into a personal vendetta for Dill Peppers, the safety the Patriots cut just before the season started. Peppers not only forced a fumble, but also recovered it while playing for the Steelers, exemplifying the harsh reality of professional football. Missed decisions and turnovers are punished immediately. The loss to Pittsburgh wasn't because the Steelers were overwhelmingly superior. It was a self-inflicted setback, a game that the Patriots could have claimed with better discipline and execution. Questions about Rondre Stevenson loom large as the team now considers adjustments to the running back rotation. 2 years ago, the organization invested in his talent, envisioning him as a potential all-time leader in rushing yards for the franchise. Yet, with each fumble, that vision becomes harder to realize. After the second lost fumble in the game against the Steelers, Stevenson saw limited snaps, signaling a possible shift in the depth chart, with Trayvon Henderson or Antonio Gibson potentially taking a more prominent role moving forward. Vrabel acknowledged that Stevenson's talent is still valuable, and it is undeniable. He contributed to the win against the Dolphins. But talent alone cannot compensate for mistakes that directly cost points in critical situations. If the Patriots are to move forward and remain competitive, trust in ball security has to take precedence over potential, no matter how gifted the player may be. Pop Douglas, the slot receiver brought in with high expectations, has also struggled to find his rhythm. Initially projected to assume a role similar to what Julian Edelman once had, Douglas has not been able to consistently produce in the first 2 games of the season. Negative yardage, limited involvement in offensive schemes, and a reliance on specific formations have hampered his contributions. The coaching staff has leaned more on 12 personnel packages, prioritizing Austin Hooper alongside Hunter Henry and wide receivers Stephon Diggs and M. Holland, leaving Douglas waiting for 3 wide receiver sets to even get on the field. The final play of the game epitomized the challenges faced by the Patriots offense. On a critical 4th down, Douglas was targeted with a pass from Drake May, finding himself in a position surrounded by defenders. Rather than pushing forward and fighting for the necessary yardage, he attempted a juke backward, losing momentum and placing himself in a compromised position. The instinct was perhaps meant to avoid a tackle, but in the context of the game, it was the wrong decision, a small moment that reflected the broader theme of the day: hesitation and miscues at the worst possible times. This young Patriots team is now at a crossroads. Holdovers from previous seasons like Rondre Stevenson, Christian Ellis, and Pop Douglas are being tested under a new regime that demands accountability and execution. It is becoming increasingly clear that Mike Vrabel is willing to experiment with younger players who are ready to seize opportunities, and the pecking order may shift rapidly in the coming weeks. Looking ahead, the Patriots cannot afford to let past mistakes define them. The game against the Panthers will test not only their skill, but also their mental resilience. Carolina comes in with momentum, having dominated their last opponent, and their quarterback, Bryce Young, is quickly developing into a significant challenge. Under the guidance of an experienced defensive mind, he is showing the ability to read defenses, make quick decisions, and exploit mismatches. The Patriots will need to be disciplined, particularly in coverage and tackling, to prevent big plays. Any lapse in focus could easily turn into a long touchdown or a sustained drive that shifts the momentum entirely. The defense must stay consistent, communicate clearly, and trust one another to fill gaps and maintain assignments. Mistakes on one side of the ball put pressure on the other, and the Steelers' game highlighted just how quickly that pressure can escalate when the offense cannot protect the ball. The offensive line will be under scrutiny as well. Protection schemes must be solidified, and timing in the passing game has to improve. Drake May has shown flashes of promise, but has been forced into difficult situations due to turnovers and missed assignments. Receivers must maintain discipline in their routes, and a quarterback must trust his primary options, including Hunter Henry, who continues to be a reliable target in the red zone and in crucial moments. Stephon Diggs, if given more opportunities, can change the dynamic of this offense, and the Patriots cannot afford to leave him underutilized. Ball security will remain paramount. Any misstep, whether a fumble by Stevenson, a dropped pass by Douglas, or a misread option, has a direct impact on the outcome of the game. In the NFL, there is no room for repeated mistakes, and the Patriots must internalize that fact if they want to build momentum and confidence moving forward. Trayvon Henderson and Antonio Gibson are likely to see increased roles in the backfield. With Rondre Stevenson struggling to maintain possession, the coaching staff will need to balance his skill with the risk of turnovers. This rotation could become a strategic advantage if Henderson and Gibson are able to contribute consistently and limit mistakes. Meanwhile, Stevenson may still find opportunities in controlled situations, but the days of him receiving 15 or more touches in a game may be over for the near future. It is a test of both patience and trust. The team has to reward consistency and reliability over raw talent alone. This will be a critical storyline to watch as the Patriots prepare for Carolina, and the development of Henderson and Gibson could shape the trajectory of the season. How Vrabel manages this rotation will reveal a lot about his approach to talent management and his willingness to adapt to the realities of player performance under pressure. The Patriots also need to address the emerging weakness at slot receiver. Pop Douglas, despite being touted as a potential successor to Julian Edelman's role, has struggled to consistently produce. The lack of production from the slot not only limits offensive flexibility, but also reduces options for Drake May in critical situations. This forces predictable play calling, which allows defenses to anticipate and react more effectively. The coaching staff will need to evaluate whether Douglas can regain trust or if younger or more reliable options should see more time. The fourth down scenario against the Steelers demonstrated the consequences of indecision and hesitation, and the same cannot be allowed against a more disciplined opponent like the Panthers. Every fourth down situation, every red zone attempt, and every crucial drive must be executed with clarity, confidence, and aggression. Football games are often decided by a handful of plays, and the Patriots cannot afford another misstep where a single choice undermines an entire drive. Discipline extends beyond individual mistakes. Penalties, mental lapses, and missed assignments have a cumulative effect. Against the Steelers, turnovers set the team back repeatedly, but even penalties and blown coverages contributed to a sense of chaos that the defense had to continually mitigate. To compete against Carolina, the Patriots must reduce these self-inflicted errors to a minimum. The team has the talent to perform at a high level, but raw talent is meaningless without execution. Every player must understand their role, trust their teammates, and stay focused through the entirety of the game. It will be a test of endurance, concentration, and mental toughness. The Patriots culture under Vrabel emphasizes accountability. And games like this one against the Panthers will show which players have embraced that culture and which are still learning the demands of NFL football at this level. Veteran leadership will be critical as well. Players like Hunter Henry and Antonio Gibson must set an example not only through performance, but also through preparation and composure under pressure. Younger players, meanwhile, will be under scrutiny. Kyle Duggar, Effin Chisholm, and others may see opportunities to make an impact if they have earned the trust of the coaching staff. The balance between rewarding experience and fostering development will be key. Decisions made now, particularly in rotations, assignments, and target distribution, will reverberate throughout the season. The Patriots are at a point where small adjustments can produce significant changes in outcomes. The pressure is high, the margin for error is low, and the Panthers will not provide an easy path forward. This is a team in transition, and the upcoming game represents both a challenge and an opportunity to establish identity, discipline, and momentum. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The baseball world is buzzing with whispers that could shake the very foundations of the American League. Rumors have been circulating that Julio Rodriguez, the young phenom who has dazzled fans with his combination of speed, power, and instinctive play, is on the verge of a shocking move to the New York Yankees. While nothing has been officially confirmed, sources close to the situation suggest that the deal could be imminent, potentially altering the landscape of the league in a way few could have anticipated. Rodriguez, whose rise in recent seasons has been meteoric, would instantly become one of the cornerstones of Yankees' lineup already brimming with talent. The thought of him patrolling center field at Yankee Stadium has fans and analysts alike speculating about the ripple effects this move would have, not only on the Yankees' immediate prospects but also on their long-term strategy. The Yankees front office has reportedly been working behind the scenes, exploring every possible avenue to make this blockbuster acquisition a reality. Insiders hint at a series of intricate trades and financial maneuvers that could finally bring Rodriguez to the Bronx. For many, it's a dream scenario. Pairing Rodriguez's elite athleticism with the legendary environment of Yankee Stadium could be a recipe for instant domination. Meanwhile, the rest of the American League is bracing for impact. Teams that once saw Rodriguez as a key rival now must contemplate a new reality, one in which the young star is patrolling the heart of the Yankees' outfield, a direct threat to their championship ambitions. Meanwhile, in the NFL, a different kind of surprise is whispering through the halls of speculation. The New England Patriots are reportedly considering the return of veteran wide receiver CORDARRELLE Paterson. Patterson, known for his explosive playmaking and versatility, could provide the Patriots with an unexpected jolt of creativity on offense. Though no official moves have been announced, sources suggest that the Patriots are seriously weighing the potential benefits of bringing back a player familiar with the system, someone who can immediately influence games both as a receiver and a return specialist. The chatter has fans excited, imagining the scenarios in which Paterson could once again electrify Gillette Stadium with his signature speed and knack for big plays. As these stories swirl, sports enthusiasts are left on the edge of their seats, eagerly following every hint, every insider tip, and every social media tease. Whether it's Rodriguez potentially changing the balance of power in baseball or Paterson injecting new energy into the Patriots lineup, one thing is certain. The rumor mill is alive, and the excitement is palpable. These potential moves, if they come to fruition, could define the next era in both Major League Baseball and the NFL, leaving fans hungry for every update. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.